Hi, Alyson Stanfield with Art Biz Success, and the second of three videos on the topic of income sources for artists. Now, an art income source is, of course, how you make money from your art. In the big picture, you might have an income from employment outside of your art business, and that's great. This is going to ease some of the pressure to make money from your art. There's nothing wrong with having a day job. But in this video, I want to focus on what diverse art income sources might look like. Let's get to it. In particular, I'm going to be focusing on how to categorize your sources of income. And just a quick note, if you don't yet have my free guide for how to price your art, you definitely want to get that. So hit pause and hop on over real quick to howtopriceyourart.com to download. Now, as I mentioned in an earlier video, potential sources of art income might include, but certainly are not limited to, original works of art, commissions, illustrations, teaching, mentoring, coaching, products like giclées, cards, books, anything with your art printed on them, licensing your images, writing, curating. And when you're trying to figure out where the money is coming from, and maybe where it could come from in the future, you need to, for the sake of your sanity, think of income sources in terms of categories. This helps you wade through the details and find the story of what's making you money and what could make you money in the future. If you have a wide variety of income sources, your categories might be similar to those that you see on the screen. But as I said, when you're trying to increase your income, we're looking for details. You want to go more into depth, if not for every income source that you have, at least for some. So here's what that looks like. Let's start with the possibility that you sell only originals, because you might be saying, I don't need categories. It doesn't apply to me because I only sell originals. Not true. Even if your art income comes from selling originals only, you still have multiple sources. Or you should have multiple sources because you want to know which originals are selling and how. So you break down your income sources into venues, perhaps Instagram, festivals, commissions, and galleries. But even those might be broad categories for you, so you slice them further. For festivals, I'm going to use Colorado examples. You break them down into, say, Cherry Creek, Breckenridge, and my hometown, Golden. For galleries, Gallery 1, Gallery 2, Gallery 3. See how this works? Then I hear you saying, I only sell art myself. You don't have multiple venues. Maybe you're one of the many artists these days who are doing collection drops, and you do them 3 times per year. You'd examine those sales by collections, for example, April, August, and December. If you have a lot of variety in each collection, divide it further, maybe by size, small, medium, and large. Another example is if teaching is one of your income streams. You might separate those numbers into income from in-person teaching and income from online classes. But those are still broad categories. Most artists who teach have more than a single in-person or online class. If you have multiple teaching offers, you need to break down these categories further. In-person teaching might include small classes you give in your studio, workshops that you're hired to lead by someone else, or retreats that you organize. Online teaching might be 2 or 3 courses and a critique group or a mastermind. Any plan for increasing your art income begins with identifying revenue categories in a way that makes the most sense for you, the work you do, and the way that you want your life to be. So soon after I post this video, I'm going to be leading the Money Plan, a live success workshop for increasing your income. You can see if it's right for you at artbizsuccess.com/moneyplan. I'm going to walk you through a series of steps that will help you see a path to increasing your sales and profitability. You're going to stop or adjust what isn't working. You'll examine your schedule, consider what lights you up, and build on what is successful, which you'll discover through the process of categorizing your art income and then analyzing it. In preparing for my interview with her in episode 157 of The Art Biz, artist Sarah Bechtel discovered that her self sales had gone up a whopping 400% in the last few years. Now, she knew she was doing well, but she didn't know exactly how well until I asked her for her income sources. In my final video in this series, I'm going to talk to you about analyzing your numbers because when you do this work and you take the time to really dive into the numbers, a story will emerge. You will discover things that you didn't know before. Before you get to that video, a little homework. I encourage you to think about what your categories are. This is a critical step, especially if you're already enrolled in the Money Plan workshop. Does it make sense for you to break down your categories by type, like teaching, originals, and commissions, by venue, or combination? And how deep do you want to go? I love seeing my students and clients with aha moments when they get into their numbers. Stay tuned for more on the Art Biz Success channel and see what's coming up at artbizsuccess.com.